the news tonight, President Tinubu calls for swift and fair dispensation of justice in the judiciary. Ijebu Sima seeks partnership with Nta Ijebu Ode to promote economic growth of Ijebu land. Good evening and welcome to Nta Ijebu Ode News at 7. My name is Anthony Gandonu. Now the news in details. President Bola Tinubu has charged the Nigerian judiciary to ensure swift and fair justice that is truly blind to a litigant status, insisting that a compromised legal system threatened democratic stability. The president, represented by Vice President Kashim Shettima, gave the charge when he inaugurated Federal High Court Judges' Quarters in Katakwe, Abuja. State House correspondent Abdurrahman Jubrila reports.
As you are and privileged to officially commission the 10 rows of judges' quarters for the Federal High Court judges here in Katempe District to the glory of God and for the service of humanity and justice in Nigeria.
This public infrastructure is part of the proposed 40 house units for Federal High Court judges completed at the 10 units of the 5-bedroom judges' quarters in Katempe District, awarded in September 2024 by the Federal Capital Territory Administration, fully furnished with a 150 capacity event center, a corner shop, and other social amenities.
About the judiciary, how the judiciary should be independent, but not independent when you try not to about this is a befitting environment to work. In present housing, these are things that have made the independence of the judiciary and uphold the law of law.
We commissioned this project today, and these keys are submitted or handed over. May this building provide comfort to our judges, may it strengthen our justice system and serve as a symbol of integrity, hope, and promise that law become the guardian of our democracy.
It is deeply encouraging and gives immense hope to the judiciary and the nation at large to see that the welfare of career professionals is being taken seriously. This commitment allows our judicial officers to find peace and stability in their vital roles.
The new residential building, President Bola Tinubu says, reinforces his renewed hope agenda and his administration's determination to give the operators of the nation's justice system a befitting home.
When we embarked on the renewed hope agenda, we made a sacred covenant with the Nigerian people. We promised to build institutional trust, secure our nation, and ensure that the rule of law is neither compromised nor delayed. Today, with the official commissioning of these 10 housing units for judges of the Federal High Court, we are taking a definitive physical step towards fulfilling that promise.
The Federal Capital Territory Administration's intervention project in the judiciary is evident of the federal government's commitment aimed at improving good governance and the rule of law by implementing judicial reforms, restructuring the judiciary, and increasing funding to ensure a just, rule-based society to serve Nigerians effectively and efficiently. In Abuja, Brahman NTA News.
3 years ago, members of Nigeria's 10th National House of Assembly, House of Representatives, entered the Green Chamber with promises to improve the economy, strengthen security, and deepen accountability. Since then, more than 1,000 bills have been introduced and more than 30 passed into law. How much impact are these efforts having on the lives of Nigerians? Ignatius Yukom reports.
For many Nigerians facing economic and security challenges, decisions taken in the House of Representatives can make a real difference.
We have done so a lot of bills, motions put in place are impactful. There are bills and measures that will affect directly Nigerians.
Since its inauguration in June 2023, the House has pursued an ambitious legislative agenda, passing key bills including the tax reform bills, National Minimum Wage Amendment Bill, and amendments to the Electricity and Electoral Act. On security, the House pushed for stronger responses to banditry and kidnapping, culminating in the passage of the State Police Establishment Bill, considering major constitutional amendment proposals, including reserved seats for women.
National BF that helps students' loans. It's public knowledge that the House of Representatives is very disposed to the state police, creation of state police. The appropriation acts, we've always acted on them, bills, make sure they are passed.
I want this 10th Assembly to consider this bill that more women should be included in the sphere of affairs. The 10th Assembly should consider it and pass the bill.
Beyond lawmaking, it has intensified oversight, summoning ministries, departments, and agencies to account for public funds.
The executive has been cooperating with the legislature during this 10th Assembly in carrying out our oversight functions. I must say that there has been a proper relationship between both arms of government. Oversight and public hearing are good. Couple of legislators, members that have been appointed to head some of these committees are people that are thoroughly selected.
This 10th Assembly has not been very active. I don't know, maybe I've not been listening to the news, but they have not been very active in terms of investigative and oversight function.
Now, as the final countdown begins, expectations are still high among Nigerians. Will the 6th constitutional alteration cross the finish line with the 10th Assembly? Answers to this question will be known by June 2027. Ignatius Nkwo, NTA News.
Representatives Abbas Tajuddin has asked Muslims in Nigeria to demonstrate love and tolerance for one another as they mark the Islamic New Year 1448 after Hijrah. In a statement, in a message of felicitation, the speaker urged the Muslim Ummah to rededicate themselves to the worship of Allah, adding that love and tolerance towards one another are integral part of such worship as enjoined in the Holy Quran and the Hadith of the Prophet Muhammad. Speaker Abbas notes that the new Islamic year 1448 AH should serve as an avenue for more prayers to the nation and its leaders. He called for more peaceful coexistence among Muslims and the people of other faiths in the country, stressing that nothing can be achieved in an atmosphere devoid of peace and unity. Nigeria's decade-long journey towards migrating from analog television broadcasting to digital platform has finally reached the desired destination with launch of the Digital Switchover project. The Minister of Information and National Orientation, Mohammed Idris, while presiding over the event in Abuja, says the gesture demonstrates President Bola Tinubu's commitment to building a modern communication ecosystem that will positively harness the nation's socio-economic and cultural potential. Saliu Abdullahi Gwanara reports.
Since the pilot digital switchover in Jos Plateau State in 2017 and 7 other states, it has taken almost 10 years for Nigeria to roll out a nationwide digital switchover in line with global transition recommended by International Telecommunication Union.
We are unveiling the big picture. The big picture is far greater than technology. It is a national vision. A vision of a Nigeria where every citizen, irrespective of geography, income, social status, enjoys equal access to high-definition television.
The launch of the digital switchover represents a future where students in our rural community can access educational content more effectively. The rural filmmaker can reach a wider audience.
With the political will of the part of the federal government, Stakeholders were unanimous that the big picture project has addressed challenges related to issues of funding and transmission infrastructure, which fast-tracked the delivery of a national communication spectrum.
With the launch, Nigeria now has direct to home and over the top two platforms that means clear signals and sound. And what many people may not know is that while we're doing this today because we hold our own satellites, our president has also approved the investment in 2 new satellites. These new 2 satellites will strengthen our capacity in communications and digital services. When a nation connects its people, it unlocks its potential. When it empowers its innovators, it accelerates its prosperity.
Under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, the federal government has provided the necessary support, policy direction, and resources to advance this important national project. This administration recognizes that broadcasting remains a strategic sector for information dissemination, education, national ambition, cultural promotion, and economic development. The digital switch over project is therefore not simply a technological transition, it is an investment in Nigeria's future.
The Minister of Information and National Orientation and other stakeholders acknowledged this as a milestone in the broadcasting industry that demonstrates Nigeria's commitment to its contemporary digital life.
It is not possible to say that we have a perfect situation, but I'm happy that what we have done today represents the spirit, the vision that President Bola Tinubu has given us. And what this tells me is that Nigeria is indeed a great nation. We can make the impossible happen. And today is a great day for all of us.
Little drops of water make a mighty ocean. Stakeholders believe that with this launch, Nigeria is on the path of using the digital economy to fast-track the 1 trillion economy promised by the Renewed Hope administration. From NAJCOMSAT in Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
Now to education matter. The Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAMB, says the 2026 Unifying Tertiary Matriculation Examination UTME original result slips will be available for printing from Wednesday. In a statement, JAMB's public communication advisor, Dr. Fabian Benjamin, explained that the original result slip contains candidates' photograph, national rankings, and the security features to enhance authenticity and acceptance for official purposes. The board notes that the document is one of the official requirements for JAMB for post-UTME screening and admission processes in the tertiary institutions across the country. Candidates are therefore advised to print the slip from any internet-enabled devices or accredited business center, verify all details, and keep a copy for future admission purposes. We will go on a break now. When we come back, the news will continue. Please stay tuned. You are welcome back. The news continued. Concerned by the rising cases of violence against women and girls, stakeholders have called for stronger collaboration among government agencies, religious bodies, and traditional institutions to address the menace and promote safer communities. The call was made at the stakeholders engagement organized by the Center for Women Health and Information, CELWIN, with support from the Ford Foundation in Ogun State. Details of the story will come your way in our subsequent bulletin. As part of efforts to revitalize commerce and industry as well as boost the economic growth of Ijebu land, the Ijebu Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, Ijebu SIMA, is seeking partnership with the Nigerian Television Authority, Nta Ijebu Ode. The chamber made this known during a courtesy visit by its executive members to the management of Nta Ijebu Ode. Correspondent reports.
Visit the President and the first Vice President of the Ijebu Chambers of Commerce, Industry, Mines and Agriculture, Ijebu SIMA, Samuel Olatunde Aladele and Okoro Abraham acknowledged the importance of promoting and promoting business and boosting the economic growth in the society. They noted that the wider range of NTA will provide an effective platform to inform the public about the Chamber's programs and activities aimed at revitalizing the economy of Ijebu land. Speaking shortly after the meeting, principal officers pointed out that the proposed partnership with Nta Ijebu will not only promote the business potential of Ijebu land, but also bring closer federal government's economic policies and benefits to the people.
We are here to partner to make our people to get informed. We are here for educational purposes. We are here for making Ijebu land to be the best it used to be. And with the cooperation of Nta Ijebu Ode, the heritage station, that's will give us a great advantage.
We are well received, and we had some technical and political discussions, and we are pleased to meet amiable management here.
Personally, the officer in charge of Nta Ijebu Ode, Mr. Abdulsalam Jimoh, commended the leadership of Ijebu SIMA for the initiative and assured them of the station's commitment to a mutual relationship that will promote economic development.
Having such fair in this place and coming here to talk to us about that is another development. But what we are just asking from them is to give us the proposal to see where we are going to partner with them. And at the end, people will surely know that NTA still exists, Nta Ijebu Ode.
Thereafter embarked on a tour of facilities in Nta Ijebu Ode.
So much for the news tonight. Join us tomorrow for another interesting package. But before then, wait for Olajide Romfolu for the Yoruba version of the news. Good evening.